Family harm is the single largest category of police demand in New Zealand. 175,573 incidents investigated nationally in 2021/22, an event attended every 3 minutes, and a majority of them at addresses police have been to before. This is not a niche social problem, and Auckland as the largest city carries a large share of it. The concentration in South and West Auckland reflects both the housing stress-violence link and the resource gap. Suburbs with the highest call rates have the fewest support services per capita. Victims who want to leave cannot, because there is nowhere to go. Auckland's emergency refuge capacity is chronically below demand. Transitional housing waitlists stretch months. The result is that safety planning by social workers is undermined by physical housing reality. Victims return because return is the only viable short-run option. Auckland gangs are not primarily ideological organisations. They are enterprises operating in a prohibited market. Drug prohibition creates the price premium that makes the business viable. The territorial enforcement that produces violence is a substitute for contract law in an illegal industry. Understanding organised crime as a market structure, rather than a moral failure, suggests that enforcement targeting supply is less effective than demand reduction and revenue-based disruption. The communities most harmed by organised crime are also the communities most harmed by the poverty that fuels gang recruitment. Methamphetamine harms are not distributed across Auckland. They fall on children in overcrowded South and West Auckland households. Any effective response has to address both the supply side and the conditions that make drug use prevalent. Crime in Auckland is not evenly distributed. The 30% average victimisation rate conceals substantially higher violent victimisation in Aotearoa, Aotearoa and Manger. Across Auckland, areas in the highest deprivation decile record violent crime rates 3 to 4 times those in the lowest. Residents of these areas are not simply statistics, they are disproportionately Maori and Pacific families already carrying the costs of housing unaffordability and income inequality. Crime compounds disadvantage. It is not merely a consequence of it. The dominant political tension is between enforcement first, police numbers, deterrence, sentencing, and prevention first, diversion, social investment, addressing deprivation. The evidence base supports elements of both. Hotspot policing has demonstrated short-run efficacy. Intensive early intervention programs produce long-run reductions. The resource constraint forces prioritization. When more than 4 in 5 Youth Justice Family Group Conference referrals in South and West Auckland come from the region's highest poverty communities, the same communities with the largest Maori and Pacific youth populations, the system is not merely reflecting community patterns, it is amplifying them. The overrepresentation begins at the discretionary decision points, stand-downs from school, police to youth aid referrals, and Oranga Tamariki care decisions. Each filter carries a disparity that compounds the one before it. The strongest predictor of reduced youth reoffending is sustained community management with low caseworker ratios. The strongest predictor of increased reoffending is residential group placement. This is one of the more robust findings in criminology, and it points directly at the resource constraint. Community management is labour-intensive, and its cost savings over residential care are not realised in the first year of implementation.